Sorry, thank you. Okay, I thought it was being recorded, but I guess I didn't hit the button. So at the beginning, we pointed out that according to many, there's a basic flaw in the ability of a Chazkas Aguf to be able to be Motzi Mamon. Either, as the Pinay Yeshua pointed out, this is important because we're going to come back to it later, that how could a Chazkas Aguf have the ability to be Motzi Mamon? A Chazaka is weaker than a Rov. Rub of a Chazaka, the Rub is Adif. Chazaka is better than a Rov, but a Rov can't be Motzi Mamon. Why should a Chazaka to be able to Motzi Mamon? So it can't be that the Chazaka alone. Tosas Lamed Vav pointed out the idea that there's a reyasa in this chazak over here, that she's a bu'ula lefanecha, so you need some help with something else. So how does that help work? So we saw yesterday the sheet of the Baal Hamor, that the Baal Hamor is mechadish, the idea of tarti. Whenever you have a simple quantitative issue, who has more ammunition on his side? If you have a chizkas aguf plus a tainas bari, so you have two things going for you, and the other side only has a chezkas mamon, two beats out one. That was the sheet of the Baal Hamor. We saw the sheet of Yeshana, quoted by the sheet of Kobetzis, who pointed out that the chazaka alone doesn't win, but when you have the chazaka along with the tainas bari, so then already you have a raglayim ladavar, and the raglayim ladavar is what allows the tainas bari to win over here. So it's really a tainas bari that's winning, and even though normally we would say the lav of bari other, but when it's a bari that's supported by the svara, by the raglaim ladavar of a chezkas aguf, so that bari is going to be able to beat out over the shema. Okay, and then finally we had the sheet of the Mechemes Hashem that we give on the base in the Dap Yerif, where the Mechemes had pointed out that the tziruf is not really a tziruf at all. It actually is the chazaka that's going to win. The chezkas aguf is motzi the mamar. And the Ramban started off explaining, similar to the Tosas, that the issue over here is that the chezkas aguf has the reyasa of bu'ula the fanecha, but the way we're able to counter that is that doesn't bother me so much, right? Why doesn't it bother me? Because, after all, she has a chezkas aguf, which tells us that the change of her being a basula probably was affected at the latest possible moment. So that is not such a reyasa in the chazaka at all. And again, we were medayik that from the words of the Ramban that ilmali ta'inasa, had it not been for her ta'ina, the chazaka wouldn't work. But now that she has the chazaka, he says b'shvil chazkas gufa ne'emenes liton, because she has the chazkas aguf, so she is ne'emenes to give her tainas bari, and therefore she's ne'emenes lahamid chazaka rishona, to establish and support and allow the initial chezkas aguf to be able to win. Again, we gave a little bit of a biur that Rabbi Baruch Beer gave in the Birkas Shmuel with that, what do you call it, about that Ramban. How we're explaining the chezkas aguf, and meaning we're explaining why the reyes is not a reyes, as we just said, and therefore the therefore the chezkas aguf is able to be motzi mama. Okay, so that was an overview of where we were at from yesterday. Now we began to point out, and then we got that far, that there is a little bit, somewhat of an issue that's going on over here, because we are finding that some, namely this Ramban, it definitely seems to be saying that the chazaka alone is able to win. Not only does the Ramban say the chazaka that's explained, right, explained away, able to win for us. I'm not so bothered by that reyes in the chazaka. She's explained Misheres Tani Nasti and all of that. But Lamaisa, there's some very major guns who learn like that beferish without any diyukim. So if you take a look on the sugas of Ayin Hey Amud Beis, where the Gemara also, this is like really one of the main Gemaras that are there, and I'm apologizing again, we're not really going to have time to do a totally thorough job. I think we have to, you can't be Yosei the Sugya without flipping open the Daf Ayin Hey Amud Beis. So let's actually do that as we're speaking. I probably should be seeing some pages flipping as I'm talking, looking at the screens. But whatever. Baruch Mistam knows this by heart, and that's what Gedolim do. So Baruch doesn't have to flip the pages. Did I ever tell the story about Rav Ruderman? I don't know if I told this. This is actually one of my favorite stories. I had this chus when I was younger. I had a shtickle chabrus a couple of times a week with Rav Ruderman Zatzal in Ner Yisrael. I was very friendly with his grandson, and somehow for whatever reason he took a liking to me, and so we had spent a couple of weeks for a few summers with these what do you call these Akon chabrus. I don't know, he was just being nice to me like that. And we were learning Masechta Brachos, and Rav Ruderman, I always had to read and explain everything. And Rav Ruderman was always very, very, very medactic about the reading. If I read, something a little bit off, either in like the way the Gemara was intoned or said a word wrong, or just Bachal inserted something that wasn't there. Every little prat, Gemara Rashi tells us, he had comments about, and he was very very on top of me. So he told me a lot about reading, carefully, and like that. One of these things that, as you've noticed, is a pet peeve of mine. So one time, during he had was very, very hard of sight, and he learned these very, very huge size Gemaras like that. So the Gemara was always like leaned up on the desk in front of him. And so I saw the cover of the Gemara basically, like the top, the tip of the Gemara. So one time he had to leave, he had to walk out. He got called out for something from his study. For a couple of minutes. So when I was there, I was I was just curious, and I was always curious, so I got up just to look around, whatever was going on. So I was very scared around him, so I didn't ever do anything when I was in his presence. But this time, what do you call it? He had stepped out, so I thought, get up. So I noticed that the Gemara open in front of him was not even the Masechta Brachos that we were learning. And he was so careful, like I said, every line in Rashi, everything. He was boom, like this, that, the next thing. And he wasn't even looking inside a Gemara. It was fascinating. He had a different Gemara open in front of him, and like that. So we're giving a call out to Moshe and Esther and to Biruchim there, who I'm not watching turning the pages, but just standing still, and like that. And so let's turn over to Daf Hey on the page for a moment. So the Gemara. There, you all learned this in your Bekiya Seder. So the Gemara, if you remember, speaks of the Mishnah release that starts on Ayin Hey and Aleph, starts with a machlokas. Right? We bring a debate between the husband and wife. If you had an Arusa who's seen to have had mumin, and part of the deal of the Tanai of the marriage was she'ein alecha mumin. She has to bring a raya. Okay, if they find the mumin after the erisin, before the nisuin, she has to bring a raya that the mumin came about after the erisin, and tough luck on the husband, and they have to, the conditions of the marriage are still totally chal, and she gets exuberant. There was no trickery here. But on the other hand, there is already nichnas there's already in a suin. So now the Baal has to bring a raya. And these women were there from before the erisin if he wants to be able to get out of paying the ksuba. So as you know, the Gemara, let's flip to the beginning of the Gemara Ayin base. So the Gemara here tells us like this. Taima, where we're going to ask a steer between the two lines of the Mishnah. Taima damaisi ha'av raya. It sounds in the reish of the Mishnah. The reason why the girl loses her ksuba is if the father, the Baal's side, can bring a raya that the woman came about. What do you call it? The woman came about later. Hello, maisi ha'av raya. The Baal is going to be mehem. If there's no raya that's brought, the husband is ne'emad. The assumption is that the husband is ne'emad, and the girl loses out on her ksuba. The women were there from before it, like the husband claims. So what should that be truly? Mar says money. Who does that go? Like Rabbi Yoshua, he da'amar lo mipiya anu chayim. Sounds like Rabbi Yoshua. The husband is taining. I don't know you the ksuba. She's taining. Like, what do you mean that the woman came about afterwards? We don't believe her. We believe him. And she loses the ksuba unless there are eidim brought that show that the woman came about at a later date. Aim a seifa. Let's look at the seifa. Nichnas l'shus habal. About tzarich lavi raya. If there's already an asuin, then the assumption is the deal we're about to make, that the girl always gets her ksuba unless the Baal can prove otherwise. Time of the reasoning is the maisi habal raya. Allah Maisi about Raya, if he can't bring any Raya against her, then the Ab is Mehem, the father's side is Naaman, the girl gets her Ksuba. That's Asyan, the Rabban Gamliel, the Amr Ne'emenes. That seems to go in accordance with Rabban Gamliel, who holds that she is the default Ne'emenes, and she's going to win. So how do things work? So the Gemara says, Amar Balazar, Tabra Balazar says the Mishnah is a split. Misha Shanazu, Lo Shanazu. The two parts of the Mishnah, the Reish and the Seifa, are not like each other. If you hold Rabbi Yeshua, then she is never Ne'emenes. It doesn't matter if it's during the Eretz time, during the Suin time. If you hold like Rabbi Gamliel, she is always Ne'emenes, regardless of whether or not the issue came up on B'shas the Eretz and B'shas the Nesuin. If you look at this, the Rashi's on this Gemara over here, when Rashi describes who this Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Gamliel are, okay, Rashi says something that's fascinating over here, and Rashi is supported by Tosas also. Tosas also learns the Gemara like Rashi. Take a little peek in the Dibra Masal Money, Rabbi Yeshua Hida Amar. So Zak Rashi, Rabbi Yeshua Hida Amar Perakama, he Omer is Misher Sani Nasdi, Who Omer Achlo Erastich, Lomi Pia Anuchayim, explains Rashi, Shetehei Ne'emenes, we don't believe that she's Ne'emenes, Elahem mid Maman al Chizkas. So the Chizkas Maman wins. Listen carefully to what Rashi says, Lo Azlinan Bazar Chazaka de Gufa. And we don't follow the Chizkas Aguf, Lomar, and say, since it's a subject when the woman came about, Hemed Guf al Chizkas, so Shekodim Lachem, and she was a noble Basula, everything was probably fine. Rabbi Yeshua says we don't do that. We don't follow Chizkas Aguf. Look at Rashi's description of Rabbi Gamliel. Ask the other Rabbi Gamliel, the Amar Hassam. Rabbi Gamliel says over by us and that if you give your base, Hine Emenes, why the Chazaka de Gufa Atifa is the Chizkas Aguf is going to win. Now, making a longer story short, Rashi here seems to say that the Shita of Rabbi Gamliel is based on black and white in Rashi, Chizkas Aguf. What's very conspicuously missing, the Rashi, the Shita of Aguf, that's all pointed out over here in Daf Ayin. Whoa, why did Rashi speak about Tainas Bari? Well, what happened to the other parts of the Sugya? Well, we're going to leave that out, okay? The Rishon and Acharonim are masbir how Rashi is authorized to ignore that. But the bottom line is, right, the Rashi says over here that Rabbi Gamliel is based on Chizkas Aguf. Chizkas Aguf wins. That's so that we see once again that a Chizkas Aguf has the ability to be able to be Motzi Mamon. Okay, so it's the Ramban and the Melchamos who learns like that in our Sugya. Rashi and Tosafot all say that the Chizkas Aguf is what wins. Okay, again, maybe Rashi is reading the Inami in our Gemara similar to that we pointed out earlier, but bottom line is that's what Rashi says over there. And that's going to lead us back to the question that was raised the other day, which is the question of the Pinei Yoshua. Like, hey, listen, I don't really get that so much. What do you mean? What do you mean that the Chizkas Aguf is able to be Motzi Mamon, as a Pinei Yoshua pointed out with, like, it sounded like a pretty good proof. Like, we know that the rove is stronger than a chazaka, right? And we know that the din was that when you have rove of a chazaka, a rove is better, and a rove is not able to be motzi mamon. So if that's the case, why in the world would we say that a chazaka has the ability to be motzi mamon? That doesn't sound like that should be true, right? And that was the hara of the Pinei Yoshua, and on those Gemaras, on Daf, that's what he really writes about this, because over there is a problematic part of Rashi, where Rashi says, yes, the Chizkas Aguf wins, and that's a little surprising to us. What do you mean the Chizkas Aguf wins? Whatever happened to the rule of Ein Holchem Mamon Acher Rov, and Kol Shekain a Chazaka? So let's explain very, very quickly. We're going to point out the idea actually originates in the Pinei Yoshua himself, but we're going to explain a little bit further. Okay, Pinei Yoshua still lived at a time when the idea of lumdis was not something that was really popular yet in the history of learning. So Pinei Yoshua still all the time who worked with just like comparing and contrasting rules without always explaining the depth behind them. So Ben Yeshua wrote the following thing, though. Again, it could be very well he meant the lumdus that we're going to explain, but definitely didn't speak out here. Ben Yeshua points out as follows. Maybe this whole idea that Ruba Chazaka, Ruba Alef, doesn't really mean that a Rov is always a stronger principle than a Chazaka. But that's what we assumed it meant. Chazaka is weak, Rov is strong, and if Rov can be Motzi Mamon, there ain't no way that a Chazaka can be Motzi Mamon. Right? That's what we assumed. Says the Pinei Yoshua, maybe it's not really true. Maybe what that rule means is as follows. I'm going to give you an example. Okay? The Gemara has a klal in Yavamas, now Kufti test. Okay? Let's say you have a girl who was, what we're going to say, Bechezkas Zekuka Leyiba. She was married, no children, right? Mistama, if this husband passes away, she's going to end up being a Yavama. Okay? There was a Sarah, there was another wife that was there, okay? And the whatchamacallit, and the other wife goes with the husband to Medina Sayyam. This other wife left when she was pregnant. Okay, she was already able to beres. So the Gemara there has a cloud. The Gemara says as follows, Rov Nashim, okay, are misabros v'yoldos. Okay? Rov of the times, a mu'beres is going to eventually morph into a yoledes. That's the way things are. That's a rov. Okay? And the Gemara says, listen, she might be cheskas that she's supposed to do yibam, right? But some of the rov would have told us that if the husband gets lost and so we don't really know what happened afterwards, Al Pi Rov, again, we're going to not talk about the halacha l'maises and all the intricacies, but there's a rov that would say she probably doesn't have to do yibam, based on the facts that we know. A ruba v'chazaka, the rov is going to be adif. But it says it in Yoshua, when we're just dealing with each klal by itself, maybe we would say that a rov cannot be motzi mamon, but a chazaka, cheskas aguf, maybe that can be motzi. Maybe the chazaka is stronger than a rov. Okay, listen to the idea one more time. Maybe the chazaka really is qualitatively stronger than a rov and can be motzi mamon. It's just that when you have a conflict between two opposite principles, a rov and a chazaka, the rov wins out over the chazaka. Now, why is that? Well, what does that mean? So here we're going to jump to a teaching of Rav Shimon. Rav Shimon in the Shara Yosher and Shara Beis, Perek Yud Gimel, explains the Shara Yosher the following thing. There's a very, very famous chakira about the geder of how a rov works versus how a chazaka is going to work. Right? We might have spoken about this on the test. I don't remember 100% which we still did because it should come up over there. Rav Shimon lays out the following idea. This is pretty agreed upon by most. Okay, not universally, but there's a strong, safe bet. Rav Shimon points out the following thing. A rov, let's say the words quickly. A rov works as a mafarer, and a chazaka works as a machriya. A rov is mevarir. A rov clarifies for us, tells us the facts, okay, projects, we should say, based on the rov what the facts are. The chazaka doesn't do that. What the chazaka does is machriya for us. It decides what the din is and what should we do now. Okay, it tells us how to be noheg, what to do, but it doesn't tell us the facts behind the decision. So for example, okay, when we say a rov is mevarir, okay, what that means is we assume we don't know what to do. But there's a rov. What we're saying is we think we're probably pretty safe in following this course of action because a rov of the possibilities would tell us that's probably the way things are. And we're very comfortable following a rov because, the Torah says not matos, but again, in terms of percentages and probabilities, the rov makes a lot of sense. We stomach this follows on what that rov is going to be. And we think we know the quote-unquote answer to our question because we assume that whatever the issue is going to be based on the projection of what the Rov would tell us. Chazaka, right, says, I don't know. Okay? I don't know what to do. Okay? I don't know where we're holding by right now. But the Chazaka is Machriya, and the Chazaka tells us we're going to decide in favor of taking this course of action, even though, and despite the fact, we don't really know if that's true factually. This is just the way things are. This is what we're supposed to do right now. So now, let's go back to this comment of Pnei Yoshua very quickly. When I have a conflict between two different principles, two different klalim, Rov tells me this, Chazaka tells me that. So the svara makes a lot of sense. Ruba v'chazaka, ruba adif. Why? Because it's much more mistabir. It's much more logical to say that I'd rather follow a course of action based on a birur, based on something that I think we've just clarified and determined, rather than just follow a course of action by being told, this is what you should do, but without really giving me a confidence that this is actually right. You hear the idea? So Ruba Chazaka, the Rov wins in that conflict, in that stira. However, Reb Shimon, this is now Reb Shimon, they're in the Shar Yosher, once again, Shar Beis Perek Gimel. Reb Shimon has a beautiful svar, and he says like this, but that exact point is the reason why a Rov can't be Motzi Mama and a Chazaka can. Why? Zot Reb Shimon as follows. When I use a Rov, okay, by definition, every Rov, we're going to pause and make sure you can fill in the blank now. This is the audience participation moment. Every Rov, by definition, always has with it, always carries a
Mia. A Mia. It's on the other side. Come on.
Okay, I didn't really hear, but I'm assuming you said the right thing. Every Rov carries with it a miyut, right? There's always the minority part that's there. Very good, okay? Every Rov, thank you for chatting in. Every Rov always carries a miyut. The Rov always brings about a miyut. Now here's the point right now. The Rov has a miyut, and because of that miyut, okay, which means we're not like 100% sure that this is the way things are. So when the other person has a cheskas mamon, he's a muhzak. The fact that there's a miyut that goes in his favor, and he has a chazaka, offsets, right, and balances or neutralizes the koach of the Rov. Rov can't decide for us anymore because Lamaisa, when it comes to Rov, is the miyut plus the cheskas mama. So that already, like we said, that stumps or that holds the ability of the Rov to be machriya anything. However, chazaka, the cheskas aguf, which on the one hand we say when it's mul the Rov, when it's going against the Rov, has a deficiency. The Rov is a barrier. The chazaka is only machriya. The pure makes more sense than a machriya, right? But says Reb Shimon. But now let's say we have a cheskas aguf by itself, the chazaka by itself. We wonder, okay, the chazaka, does the chazaka have the strength, the qualitative strength to be motzi mama? So on that, Reb Shimon comes along and says exactly right. Yes, according to these Rishonim, the cheskas aguf has the ability to be motzi mama. Why can the cheskas aguf be motzi mama? Because since the chazaka is in machriya, right, and we're not really deciding anything here. Okay, we're not telling you this is the way things are. It's probably like this, which leaves open the danger, but maybe it's not. Chazaka tells you this is what you do. Okay, and the moment the Chazaka tells me this is what you do, we do that with 100% confidence. We do that with authority. We know that that's what we do. Again, we didn't decide the issue over here. We just picked a psak halacha. But the moment the halacha peskins in favor of that cheskas aguf, that's a full 100% confident psak that was given. And because of that, the cheskas aguf is going to have the ability to override a cheskas mamon. It can be motzi mamon from the other person, because that is a stronger klal than a chezkas mamon. So that's the pshat behind these Rishonim. We'll say over here that yes, in fact, a chezkas aguf is able to be motzi mamon from the other dude. Now, here we have another machlokas though. Next stage, okay? Still going a little bit further. And here's a machlokas. And it's machlokas gedolei achronim. There's a Shem Shmaisa in Shmaisa Aleph of Perek Tesvav. The Shem Shmaisa, again, I told you we're going to give you a little food for thought over here too. The Shem Shmaisa says that that's only true by a chezkas aguf. Okay? The chezkas aguf is the strongest of all the chazakas. These are things we did touch upon in the past, right? The chezkas aguf is the strongest qualitatively of all the different types of chazaka, and a chezkas aguf has the ability to be motzi mamon, but other types of chazakos are not going to have that ability. Okay, if you remember, we weren't done when we were doing a test. We took a glimpse at a Tosins of Ayin Hey, where Tosins had a line that said, in comparison to other chazaka, showed the line of Tosins. You have your Daf Ayin Hey open. A chezkas pinuya lo chashiva chazaka legabi chezkas aguf. And the Shmaisa understands what that means is the chezkas aguf is the strongest type of chazaka, and nothing else can come close to that. There were other achronim who there was Bnei Yoshua himself, Rabbi Chanan Kovich Yurim, felt that all that Tosas meant to say was that a chezkas pinuya is a weak chazaka, but not that chezkas aguf is the only type of chazaka that actually has a total authority. Let's point out, we spoke about another chiluk between two different kinds of chazakos, that are there. And that was an idea that spoke about a difference between, a chezkas aguf versus a chezkas hadin, where we're not really telling you something about the nature of the guf of the person. That we explained was a very difficult chazaka to try to assume to change. The human body doesn't usually change. A chezkas aguf might be very, very strong. A chazaka and din might not be the same strength type of chazaka. So those are some of the issues that are the background behind what exactly has the ability to be motzi mamon from somebody else. So that's that section, finishing up that part of yesterday's shir. Now, what we also want to be looking at though now are some of the nafkaminas that are here between the different pshatim that we saw in our sugya. What exactly is motzi mamon? Is it the chazaka alone, the chezkas alone? Is it the chazaka in conjunction with somebody else? And we were exploring different explanations of how that's true and why that's true, and why that works, right? So let's talk about some of the ideas that are over here. We're going to use the shach that we should have on our sheet in front of us as the basis for the next part of our discussion. The shach. I just got to turn my screen a little bit so I can actually see. That's because then you can't see me. Let me just open up a shach and I'll read a little bit inside of you. Let's talk about what the shach was talking about. It's actually a mission of Mitzvah. Actually, it comes up in a couple of places. It comes up here. It comes up Mitzvah, and you're going to see it at the beginning of next year also. The Mishnah speaks about a case called the Chenvani al Pinkaso, where Balabais asks a Chenvani, asks a shopkeeper, do you mind giving mizonos to my polim? Do you mind taking care of my workers for the day? Okay, so the Balabais, wants to pay off the polim by giving him whatever it is. The Chenvani is supposed to be the one supplying the goods to those workers. The Balabais is supposed to pay the Chenvani, right? And everyone, in theory, if that arrangement worked, and everyone did what they were supposed to do, so everything is great, okay? The problem is, the way the Mishnah speaks about both of the Poalim and the Chenvani, in the case in that Mishnah, they come and say, the Poalim come and say, we never got anything. We never got paid, and we never got food. The Chenvani swears that, literally, so the Chenvani opines, he states his opinion, he states his stance that, what do you mean? I gave these guys all the hamburgers and hot dogs and steaks that you have. They were very well taken care of the past week. I did everything I'm supposed to do. And the Balabais is stuck. There are two people being tovei. The Polim say, you owe us our wages. The Chenvani says, you owe me money for the past week's worth of food. Right? All the great meat that are out there, the greatest barbecue you could possibly ever imagine, that the Chenvani says he supplied to them, but he's claiming that the Chenvani never got paid for any of that. So the Balabais is up two creeks without two paddles. He's being demanded by the Polim and by the Chenvani. He'd rather pay nothing. Yeah, that's small. So here's the story. So the Mishnah says, okay, that Shneim, the Polim and the Chenvani, take a shvua. I swear that I never got anything. Okay, and the Balabais says to pay twice. He gets totally messed over. Okay, totally messed over. And the Mechaber now speaks about the following thing. The Mechaber says, I want to read you a psak of Machlokes and Shulchan Aruch, and then we'll understand a little bit better the context of the Shach. I'm just going to elaborate some more things that the Shach didn't speak out. You probably got the basics, but I want to point out some other things. The Mechaber brings Bamedim or Mamurim. When is it true that they can swear and he has to pay twice? If both the Polim and the Chenvani are making their demand, then they swear and he pays double. If one of these two sides dies, okay, and there's only one person coming and saying, you owe me money, then noto below Shavua, he doesn't have to take a Shavua anymore. Because the Balabais is not really losing, he has to pay somebody money anyway. He's only paying the one time that he's ultimately supposed to pay, so they get their money without a Shavua. The Ramah adds, V'yesh Omrim, Davka b'Mesa Chenvani, V'asu Polim, the notim below Shavua. The Ramah now quotes that this is only true, though, if it was the Chenvani that dies. Listen carefully. If the Chenvani dies and the Polim want their money, so they can take the money without Shvua. Listen to the words. The Balabayas for sure owes the Polim money. They worked for him. Right? He owes them money for sure. And it's just a questionable, the only question is how did he pay them and did he pay them at all? Below Yada Ipara, it's not clear if he paid or not. But on the, what I call about Imeso Apollo, the Chenvani Baal, Litvoa, Masha Nasan, Lo Yitel, Mishbut, Yomalo Nasan, Klum. Now, the Shach comes along and he explains that there seems to be machlokes over here. Okay? The Ramah tells us that if the Poalim are demanding from the Balabayas, where we know the Balabayas owe them money because they were his workers, and it's just a question of does he owe them directly, or did he give the money to the Balabayas that already paid them? And that's the whole doubt. And there's no, the Chenvani anyway is dead, so they just pay. He pays the Polim one time, and he's off the hook, and they don't have to take any kind of a shvua. The Shach comes along, and he quotes a discussion about this machlokes that's here in the Shulchan Aruch, who has to take a shvua in this particular case. I'm going to jump in and read to you the words that we have in front of us, and I'll try to explain as it's going on. The Shach comes along and says like this. I don't think, so I just want to start from a solid place over here.
Oh, right.
So let's start with Trumos. I saw the Sefer at Trumos right in Shar Kaftes. He brings the Shuvas of Yosef ibn Palat. Okay, one of the Rishonim, Rabbi Yosef ibn Palat. The Sefer Shmuel is also in Rishon. He wrote a long tshuva to the Baal Amor, to the Reb Zrachia Levi, the Baal Amor. The Chenvani Upoa Lo Mechai B'Shvua Elaheicha D'Torbayu Kaman U'Machicha Sheyadodi. This idea of swearing twice, that Yosef ibn Palat writes, is very clearly only if they're both there being toveya from him. Capacity demasnis, like the simple reading of the Mishnah. Who Omer Nasati, the Babai says, but I gave, the Chenvani says, I gave them. Came home with the town, they're saying, we have received the money. But if there's only one, it doesn't matter who. If there's only one person there being toveya, shakil below shvua, he can take his money without a shvua. Even if it's only the chenvani that's coming and saying the Poland died, and the chenvani said, you never paid me for the food that I gave them, he is chayiv to give that chenvani money without a shvua even though he says, what are you talking about? And this is not like the case of Bari B'Shema. The chenvani is saying, you owe me money. The balabais is saying, I don't know. Right? So the rule is that the balabais should be pater. Bari B'Shema, the cheskas mamon wins. If he takes a shvua, maybe he has to pay. That's a special takana that the Gemara speaks about at the beginning of Bava Metzia. All right? Even if he makes a takana, it's a takana. If he swears, I would have to pay. Okay, but the Baal Shmuel is raising a question from this Rebbeinu Yosef ibn Palat. Why should the Balabais owe any money? The Chenvani has a tainas bari. The Balabais has a shema, but he has a cheskas mama. He doesn't owe a dime. Look what he says now. Because Hasam Ika Bari Gabi Tovei Cheskas Mona Gabi Nitva. That's the normal case. But by the Chenvani, there are two anpe, there are two facets that are here, two factors that exist. Cheskas Shaliach Osa Shlichusa. On the one end, there's another klal in Shas that says there's a chazaka that a Shaliach Osa Shlichusa. When you commission a person to do something on your behalf, he did what he was supposed to do. You asked the Balabayas, you asked the Chenvani to give food for a week to the Polim. Mistama, he did that, meaning you probably owe him that money. That's Madchi Chel says Mamon Machmas Tarti, and we're going to push off the Balabayas' Cheskas Mamon in favor of the two factors. Again, what are the two factors? That guy has Tainas Bari, the Chenvani, and there's also a Chazaka that says Shliach Ose Shlichuso. A shliach does his job. Okay? By the way, okay, and this is part now of a machlokas. The Shach records that the Ramban argues on this point. Okay? And the Ramban says shliach ose shlichuso doesn't help over here. Okay? Why? Because the chazaka that shliach ose shlichuso, okay, this is a discussion in the Rishonim, might only be true when we're dealing with dinim that are derabana. But whenever it's relevant to a din d'oraisa, we don't always assume that the shliach does the job that you asked him to do. Did you hear what I just said? Yeah? So for example, okay, I go to the rabbi on Erev Pesach, and I ask the rabbi, please sell my chametz for me. My shliach is the chametz, so that I'm not going to be over and buy your rabbi matzah. Okay? Why do you have a right to not burn all of your? Why do you assume that the rabbi did mechiras chametz? Were you there? Did you see it? How do you know? Right? So many Rishonim say, yeah, because it's a chazaka, shliach ose shlichusa. Shliach ose shlichusa. You can assume he did. Some are, by a d'oraisa, you don't have a right to be somech on that. If you pay the rabbi money and make him your worker, poalim do their job. Workers do their job, but a shliach, maybe not. Okay? And that's why many people are careful when they go to the rabbi to do mechiras chametz, that they have to give the rabbi money. Right? To make the rabbi not just a shliach, but to be a poel, where for sure there's no questions that he does what he does. Got the idea? Yeah? Okay. This year, by the way, in coronavirus times, when many people did their mechiras chametz through a website, right? Just emailed something. We don't always have the ability to give the rabbi money. right? We just assume that you ask him to do the job. So chazaka shliach osa shlichuso. Yeah. So here in Telstone, they gave an option of drop. You couldn't go to the road because they didn't want anyone getting near each other. But they gave an option of giving up. If you didn't have like somebody that's like email, so some people don't have email. So if you had a form, you could like drop it in a box, and the rabbi was going to collect those forms. I happen to be, a fry trafe guy, so I do have email and computers and all that stuff. But I made a point of putting the thing in an envelope with money, right, to drop off of it. So at least could be, made to wrap into a poel and not be something. But listen carefully now what the Yosef ben Palat says. We have the Chanvani has two things in his favor: a tainas bari plus a chazaka that shliach osa shlichuso, and he probably gave the workers money, so he has the right to his money without taking a shvur. Says the Sefer Trumos, bringing your bills to even Palat. How do I know that if there are two factors, you can override a chizkas mamon? So we all the punchline found here in our shach. You have to bring again this is true from the Sefer Trumos. How do we know that's our suki over here? Another is the issue of the Basulam and Gamil and Ne'emen as Hilchos Ekavasei. The time of Mishum Dika Chizkas Guf Bahadi Bari B'Shema. You have the Chizkas Aguf along with the Bari B'Shema. And then it goes on and gives the example from the Mishnah Dafayin Hey as well. Now, close the shofar for a second. Now let's stop and think about what we just said over here. The Rabbeinu Yosef ben Palat paskins something, okay? Very interesting shayla, right? Does the Chavani deserve his money, okay, without a shvua? Is this a case of Bari B'Shema, right, where the Shema guy automatically wins because he has a chezkas moment or not? So what was the psak that he gave? The psak that he gave, and the Baal HaMor ends up paskining like this, okay? Was it true to the Baal HaMor that the Baal HaMor agreed with? Was that in that particular case, the Chavani gets his money without swearing, because there are two factors in his favor. Chazak of shliach osa shlichuso. Most of the time, the shliach does what he's supposed to do, and the tainis bari that the Chavani had. So what's important over here is that. The important part over here now for us is going to be that we got to realize that psak that the Shach discussed over here is for sure a big machlokes. The Baal HaMor himself is going to agree, and he actually does in that discussion. Is going to agree with the idea brought by the Shach. Why? Because the whole Shach the Baal HaMor learned in our Gemara was a principle of tarity. Two factors are going to be able to win. So now listen what the two factors are. The bari, that's easy, and then this other nefarious chazaka called chazaka shliach osa shlichuso. Now that's not a chizkas aguf. That's not even a very strong chazaka. As I pointed out, many Rishonim say you can't even be somech on that chazaka. That's not so clear that the shliach always does what he's supposed to do. But nevertheless, right, this Sefer Trumos, B'Shem Rabbi Yosef Ibn Palat, says to us that, but that's enough to override Chezkas Mamon. Why? Because he has two things. It doesn't matter if they're strong factors. It doesn't matter if they're weak factors. If there's two against one, the two is always going to win. The Ramban, right, for example, that we saw, who learns the Pshat in our Gemara, is that Chezkas Aguf is able to win. Or like Rashi, right? Chezkas Aguf is going to be win. And maybe the only reason why he needed the Bari in our Gemara, according to what the Ramban explained, to explain why the Reyes is not really there. Yeshiva is standing and nasty, so that goes along with the Chezkas Aguf. But Chezkas Aguf is able to win. So if that's true, you would not agree with what it said in that shach. Or you would not say that the mere fact that the Chenvani has two factors going for him, that there's a chazaka, shliach osa shlichuso, plus a tainas bari, that's not enough to win in the slightest bit. There's no rule, there's no klal out there in Shas that two things beat out against the chezkas mamon. Where did that come from? Right, so that's a very basic nafkamina that's there between the different ways that our discussion was is going over here in our Gemara. Okay, for the next couple of minutes, let's try to blast through the next section of the Marmakomos. Let's run through the next section. Let's pull out my ridge over here. So we have all the Marmakomos in front of us because my screen doesn't always work so well. So the next list of Marmakomos is going to discuss, is there a machlokes between the two inamis that are here in the Gemara? Now, without actually learning the sugya, when we ask you the question, again, participate please, when we ask you the sugya of, is there a machlokes? You know the answer is going to be...
No, but opposite. This is more. This costs a little more, but it also is more.
No, you know the answer is going to be...
Machlokas.
That's a machlokes. Right? There's more than one way of looking at the sugya over here, right? Do the two opinions agree? Maybe or maybe not. Okay, so let's take a little look over here at what the Rishonim have to say. Guys, at the end of your Shana Aleph, you should be able to answer every question. Learning is always machlokas. Don't ever say yes. It's always machlokas. You're supposed to know that like that. We don't have to leave you back at the end of this semester over here. Please make sure at least that we're able to say. Let's jump into the Rif. Amid Abdallah, Amid Beis. So the Rif does something very interesting. He leaves absolutely no room open. Again, I'm assuming you have a Rif, so I didn't give it to you. It should be in the back of your Gemara. The Rif over here on our Mishnah, on a series of Mishnahs. It's not only in our Mishnah, but the Rif over here says, he brings, I'm going to run quickly through the Rif. And so on and so forth, right? And the Rif quotes that the Gemara wants to be Tole, the Machlokas of Nachman of Yehuda, and the Machlokas of Gomir of Yeshua, and our Mishnah. I'm reading now inside. Amar l'char of Nachman, Ana da'amri afilu the Rabban Gamliel. Rav Nachman says, me who says that you're potter in Bar V'Shema, I'm not even with Rabban Gamliel that the girl wins and gets her money. Because I can't look over Gamliel Hassam, Eladamina Uki Isiso Achez Kasa. Rabban Gamliel in the Mishnah says the reason why the girl wins because she has a Chezkas Aguf. Abal Hacha, my Chazaki is Leilai. But over here in the case of Bari B'Shem, the other guy doesn't have a Chezkas Aguf. He doesn't have a Chazaka, he doesn't have Bari against the Shema. The Shema wins, the Chezkas Mama wins, not the time as Bari. And then he quotes the Gemara's Hachanam and Mistabra, that the Chazaka is going to win. So now, one thing you see extremely clearly from the Rif, no questions asked, that the Rif forgot something. What did the Rif forget in our sugya?
Migo.
He forgot the teretz of Migo. That's totally missing from the Rif. So it'd be extremely clear that the Rif is telling us that he's paskening that one of the terutzim in the Gemara is accepted and the other one is not, right? Meaning the Rif is coming along and telling us over here, Chazaka, Chezkas Aguf. Again, we're going to leave out the discussion on with a bar, without, but Chezkas Aguf wins to be motzi the mamon, but not a migo. Okay? In other words, when we discussed before, hey, what about the idea of migo lahotzi lo amriyan? Yeah, the Rif is going to tell me, you can't help out the migo in any way, shape, or form. All the things we learned in that previous sugya, we don't agree with it. The Inami argues and says, migo with any kind of combination of anything is not going to be enough to be motzi mamon, but a chazaka or a chazaka plus, that's going to be enough to be motzi mamon. That's the Rif. There is a machlokes, and we're going to paskin that the lishna pas for the second inami is the right one. Now, the Ritva, again, going quickly here because we got a short amount of time. The Ritva starts off, again, it's a long Ritva, but the rest starts off quoting Rashi that the Girs in the Gemara is the two inamis that are here, Migo, Chazaka Begufa, etc. And in the first part of the first paragraph, the Ritva explains what the idea of the Migo plus the Chazak is, what exactly the Migo was. As you read on, he has the Inami part Rabbi Gamliel says what he says because of the chazaka, the cheskas aguf, and he explains how that part works. And then there's you get just the punchline line. The gufa. The main reason of Rabbi Gamliel is the cheskas aguf. In other words, Ritva is telling us once again that we're paskening like the inami of cheskas aguf winning, but migo plus is not going to win to be motzi mamon. Okay. Then he adds the Ritva b'nischos tu be'iga the lo garsinan ela mitayma basra. And in fact, the Ritva says that it's surprised that there are many versions of the Gemara, many girsos that only have the second hand, that only bring the idea about cheskas and guf being able to win. But it says the Ritva, according to many versions of the Gemara, there's not even an option presented that a migo plus is going to be able to win. Now, again, I don't know if you have a Osvaldo Gemara. Again, I'm actually asking a question right now. I'm still offended. The Osvaldo Gemara quote you the other. Did they omit the first Inabu Amigo? Did they point that out on the side of the Gemara? Does anyone have an Osvaldo Gemara?
I do. I don't know what it means that they don't point it out that someone doesn't say it. I don't think so.
They don't have any like notes over there by the first, but they say some gear cells don't have the Amigo part.
It does. It says the riff doesn't have it.
Where?
On Hagosh Tzion and Gimel.
That's one of the contributions that they gave, where they point out the other girsos that are there in the Gemara. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. And we're going to jump and look at this Beis Shmuel. It says makes a fascinating observation. Beis Shmuel. He's going on the Mishnah of the Mukas Eitz Ani, okay, which is one of the other Mishnahs coming up. But just read quickly inside. Shas after Beis Gamliel, he met Menes Mishum Dehito Enes Bari Huto and Shema. Aftergav the Baalma Kaimel and Bari B'Shema Ein Motzi and Mamon. Bekan he Motzi Haksuba. Why Mishum Isla Migo? She has a Migo. Says the Beis Shmuel Aftergav the Ein on the Migo Lahotzi. Nekamakam Kan Huto Hito and Bari Who Shema Isla Migo Motzi Mamon. Okay. Beis Shmuel explains like we saw earlier, when you have a combination of Migo plus the Bari, that's able to be Motzi Mamon. Okay, we can't kapkas the Gemara, because my mother's character is called halacha test. Okay, look what he adds now. Ulafize, according to this, Im amra mukas eitz ani tachtecha. Listen carefully to what the Beis Shmuel says. If the husband claims, hey, you're not a basula. Yeah? Esa basula. And she says, yeah, you're right, but I became a mugas eitz tachtecha. What's the significance of that? He says she's ein and menes to ein la migo. What better taina could she possibly give him? Like, mugas eitz tachtecha. I was a mugas eitz after the erison. Right, so you owed me the full soup of 200, right? I became a mugas eitz after the erison, so there's no money that I have to lose whatsoever. She doesn't invalidate her reputation in the slightest bit. She's not pasal a kahuna, right? She's not so that's like the strongest taina. It says the Beis Shmuel an interesting psak. According to the first pshat in the Gemara, if she was to say mugas eitz ani, she's not believed. And she doesn't get her suba. Why not? Tell me why that. I mean, he tells you, just repeat what the Beis Shmuel says. Because
there's no migo.
There's no migo. There's no better taina for her to say. So now this is just an example of a bari against the Shema. Lav bari adav. Says the Beis Shmuel weiter. Isa b'shas otam acher. She has a cheskas aguf. Yeah? Not a matter of her tain is no migo. She has a cheskas aguf. And when you have this question, hey, there's a pesach basua, we assume that happened either as an ones or a mukas 8 after they got married, so she wins based on Cheskas Aguf. Well, the Fiza affiliate of Amr mukas 8 ani tachtecha, even if her claim is, when he tinies against her, he says, you don't get the ksuba, you're a pesach pesuach, tainas pesulim. She says, no big deal, mukas 8 ani tachtecha, she's still going to win. Why does she win? Because Cheskas Aguf agrees with her. Why not? See the nafkamina that he creates between the two things, right? Not just the question of, can he be motzi mama with amigo, but he says, even if I believed in both terutzim are there, there's a nafkamina between the two terutzim. What would happen if the girl tiny mukas 8 ani tachtecha? Says the Mishmur, but I would say rak times it. The chenkas of Haran. Mio, however, the Rambam in the tour, Bashulta Giborim Kasvu Atam Rishon, Kedei and Kedai Hu Lachash Teretz. So Rishon, since the Rambam also holds the first teretz, we should be koshish for that teretz also. Now, not clear what he means by that. We should be machmir like the first teretz because the Rambam also holds the first teretz. Like both teretz. So the base of Levi, it's found in Chayla, Gimel base of Levi, the base of Levi says, it's not clear what Rambam is referring to. The base of Levi brings the Rambam that's on your Rambam Kamoshi. And the base of Levi says, let's take a look at this Rambam over here. No say Besula Shiksu Basa Masayim. Viton V'Amar Lo Mitzah Siya Besula. Show them Muslim, go to the girl and ask her, what's the deal? So Im Amra Emesu Lo Mitzah Besula. Nipination of Falti. The Kani 8, O Karka, she says, yeah, that's true, but it happened for natural kosher reasons. I fell, became a mukas 8. Harezu ne'emenes, listen carefully. The tax, this is foreign words, but tax subasa lamana. She's believed that she gets 1 mana. Not, what would you expect the Rambam to have said?
Nothing.
She claims mukas 8, and we might have thought that what we're supposed to get is, we would expect her to get 200 zuz, a regular ksuba. Yeah? Mukas 8, Cheskas Aguf goes with her. Correct? Cheskas Aguf goes with her. Yeah? So why is the Rambam telling me she only gets a mana? What's the story? Why did she only get a mana? Only a mana. So the idea is going to be as follows. If the girl claims, mukas 8 ani before the Erison, then she might have been able to have gotten the full 200 zuz. Why? I know we're going to go a little bit over time, just nostalgic here. If she was to claim I was a mukas 8 before the Erison, why didn't she get the full ksuba? She has a.
If it happened before Erison, she gets. Wait, hold on. She gets 200 if it happened before Erison?
If she was to have claimed I was a we're trying to figure out the pshat in the Rambam. If her taina was I was a mukas 8 meikara, right, from before the Erison, she would get 200 zuz. And why would that be true? Because along with her taina, she also has a
migo.
She has a migo, right? She could have claimed mukas 8 ani tachtecha, which would have been the best irrefutable taina. She gets 200 zuz. So the Beis Halevi says, you know why the Rambam says that she gets 100? So it has to be that the girl is claiming, right, mukas 8 ani tachtecha. Tachtav. Now, there's no migo in that case. Yeah? So if there's no migo in that case, the only thing that you have going for you is what? Is a beautiful Beis Halevi. Follow the cheshbon. The only reason why she should get her ksuba right now is if there's no migo, why might she get the ksuba? There's also a cheskas aguf that goes in her favor. But a cheskas aguf would have told you to get how much money? 200 zuz. So why is she getting 100? Says the Beis Halevi, you know what you see from this Rambam? That the Rambam feels that it's a sfeika de dina. Right? That it's not clear which of the inamis we paskin like. Do we paskin that you win with amigo, or do you paskin that you win with a cheskas aguf? And it's not clear. They argue on each other. Got the idea? They argue on each other, and it's not clear which way we paskin. Okay? So in a case where you only have one of the tirutz of the Gemara operative, like in the case that we just built in this Rambam, no amigo, but there is a cheskas aguf. She can't win her 200 zos, but she can get 100. Because when you have a suffix like that you're allowed to split the money. Okay? So she's not fully ne'emenes, and she's only going to be ne'emenes in the case where she has both the chazaka and the amigo. So how did she claim that was the mutas ace from before the Eresin? Yeah? So not only does she have amigo, she also has her cheskas aguf. So she gets her 200 zuz. That's the din in our Mishnah. Right? But the 100 zuz, the base of late piece of the we have to be slightly sharp to pick this up in the Rambam. Right? It's a beautiful base of unbelievable learning of the Rambam. Right? Because it's a very strange stuff. It says the base of Levi, we can pick out from here. The Rambam says we go like both opinions in the Gemara. We it's a sveika the din. So any one of the two inamis in the Gemara is the only factor that you can't let the girl win in that case. Okay, so let's go. Right now we have the Rif who paskin for us that we only pass like the Lishna Basra. Yeah? And we have the Rambam that's telling us over here that it's a sveika de dina. It's not clear. It's machlokas. It's not clear which one we go like. Not clear. Let's take a look very quickly. There's only one possibility left. That's found in the Mordechai, in the beginning of Mitzia. There's a cheskas aguf, or there's a bari and amigo. It really should be amigo the bari, chazaka the bari, amigo the bari, amrina amigo lahotzi. The east of Ksubis, Kabishir, Sami, and Nasti, and Nemenes, amigo filahotzi mahitaima. She's going to be Nemenes to be motzi mamon, like that. Now, wait a second. Where do we see that if there? Let's see what he said. If there's a chazaka with the bari, amigo with the bari, she should be motzi mamon. If you look in a real Mordechai, you'll notice that they changed the gears, and there's two parts. Chazaka with a bari, amigo with a bari, you're going to be believed to be motzi mama. So you see that the Mordechai paskins that the two lashonos in the Gemara don't argue with each other. No machlokes, they're both right. Either one of those things is enough to be motzi mama and to allow the girl to win. Okay. One last discussion. If you look back in that rush that we did a bunch of times, the rush with the Rabbeinu Yonah. Right? You'll see when the Rush quotes this, he also seems to quote both opinions, and he seems to paskin like both opinions. Either one can work. So we have three possibilities over here. How to understand the inamis, either for sure we paskin like the Lishna Basra, or the suffix which we paskin like, or we paskin that both are going to be true, and the two deos in the Gemara stand independently of each other. That is all for today's year. I thought this was a slide over that a long time ago. So today was the first for a while.